Hey guys. So one of my friends recently shared, I don't know if it's a quote or if she just wrote it herself or where she found it, but she shared something on Facebook and I found it to be really inspirational and motivational. And it really got me thinking about a few different situations and just things in my life. And I wanted to share it with you guys because hopefully it will motivate you or inspire you in some way, and I'm just going to read it and then I will share my thoughts on it. So, this is what she shared. She said, "It's time for you to speak your truth. Stop holding on to all of those dark secrets of what happened. It's not helping you, it's hurting you. It's time for you to speak up and speak out in order to be free and receive complete healing." And so I wanted to share my thoughts on it. And you may wonder how this is inspirational or motivational. For me, being a survivor of domestic violence in multiple different instances, I have constantly kept my mouth shut about the things that I have gone through. I have shared bits and pieces of my experience and my story with you guys, but there's a whole lot that went on that you guys have no idea of. And so, the reason why I kept quiet about certain things is because I felt like if I opened up and talked about everything that went on, that I would either be judged or someone would, think that I was sharing things that I shouldn't be sharing, or that I was talking about things that people didn't really want to hear. And also on the flip side of that, I was embarrassed of the fact that in a way, I felt that I allowed myself to be put into that situation time after time. And since I came back to Michigan, I've been doing a lot of soul searching and I've been making a lot of progress on myself. And I have to tell you that it is so worth it to open up about the experiences that you've had in your life. Tell people what went on. It is so freeing. This statement that my friend shared made so much sense to me and just solidified to me in my heart that I am doing the right thing by telling my story and making it known what happened to me. And I've always said when I've talked, or made videos or posted about the abuses that I have had to endure, if my story can reach one person and help them avoid having to go through some of the things, even if it's just one small thing, if I can help somebody avoid having to go through that heartbreak, having to go through that pain, having to suffer like I did for as long as I did, I feel like it's worth it. I feel like I have made a difference. If just by sharing my story, someone picks up on a red flag of, something that's going on in their relationship that could potentially be a warning sign of abuse, if it makes them think twice about staying in a relationship that is showing those potential red flags, I have done my job. I am so sick and tired of being a person who's afraid of what other people think of me. And earlier this year on my Instagram, I told people on my stories that my theme for 2022 is that I want to live more fearlessly. I don't want to be afraid of what people think of me anymore. I don't want to be afraid of sharing my viewpoints. I don't want to be afraid of saying the wrong thing and getting somebody upset with me, because my viewpoints are my viewpoints. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion. Everybody sees the world through different lenses. Everybody goes through things differently and everybody's experience is unique. And so I think that, it's good to share your story because somebody else might be going through the same thing that you are going through and they think that they're completely alone. And by you stepping up and sharing your story, being willing to, share your story, because a lot of times these stories that we're sharing are very, very difficult to even talk about amongst people who we know have gone through the same thing or someone who went through it with us. And by being willing to open up and share your story with a broader audience of people, you never know what kind of difference you're making. And that's why I have said for years that I don't want to be the person who doesn't speak up and, somebody else gets into that situation and doesn't know how to reach out for help or doesn't know who they can talk to. I've shared multiple times about the fact that in my very first domestic violence situation, the reason that I was able to get help is because I was in nursing school and I shared the resources available through my school that helped hook me up with the people at the domestic violence shelter. And, you know, I am so very thankful that I had that availability to me. A lot of people don't know where to reach out for help, or they don't know how to reach out for help, or they're afraid to even reach out for help because they don't know how things are going to go. And I will tell you, it is very dangerous when someone is trying to leave a domestic violence situation. But you shouldn't be afraid to reach out for help. You shouldn't be afraid to share your story. Obviously, there's certain things that you need to do in order to protect yourself as you are actively going through the situation. But once you have gotten to a safe place and you have gotten to the point where you are able to talk about it, one of the most therapeutic things for me has been this YouTube channel, because I am able to share so many experiences that I have gone through, and there are so many supportive people on my channel. You guys have been very, very supportive. I do have a few people who have left really nasty comments on certain videos, but you know, there's so many of you who have been very, very kind and very supportive and very loving to me. And, you know, there's been times where I don't know what I would have done without you guys, without just being able to sit down in front of my phone or in front of my camera and talk to you guys about what is going on. And even though I may have been a little like timid or intimidated about sharing my experience or my thoughts or my opinions, I've still done it. And I've been so relieved afterwards when I receive that love, you know, and support and positivity and not negativity and hate. Like I said, even though I do receive hateful comments, it is what it is. But I just think that, you know, if you get nothing else out of this video, take this. You know, this is a sign that you are okay being your authentic, complete self. It is perfectly fine if you don't agree with somebody else. It is perfectly fine if you're weird. Everybody's weird in their own way, okay? Don't be afraid to keep holding your story in. Let it out. You know, obviously make sure that you are letting it out to people that you trust. If you trust, you know, social media, obviously there's a lot of issues when it comes to social media. If you don't feel comfortable sharing on social media, find somebody like a friend or a pastor, somebody who you can share your story with, who's not going to judge you and who's not going to look down on you for being so open about your experience. So I hope this was helpful. If you guys have any topics you'd like me to talk about in the future on my channel, please let me know, and I would be glad to get something filmed for you. If you would like me to talk more about my personal experience with domestic violence, please let me know. I would be glad to get something filmed for you. And with that being said, I will talk to you guys next time.